said one thing could really be everything. You're like, what does that mean? Take a look at this. This is called Bionic Putty. And it really will become whatever it is that you need it to be. Do you need to kind of fill in a hole? Do you need to adhere to things, bond two things together? It will shape, it'll mold, it'll sculpt to whatever it is that you need. If it adheres to ceramic, metal, wood, whatever it is, it becomes that. So see? Like, let's say you had a handle. We just had a popcorn machine this morning that had a door that was broken on it. We could have used the Bionic. Couldn't use the Bionic Putty. So look at this. Can we get a shot on this, Porter? This is what I'm talking about. It looks like it's ready to be something, right? Be molded to something. Once you saw it when it was on the lawnmower. Once you get it there, it sets, and maybe you sand it down if it's filling in a hole. You could paint it, you could sand it, you could drill into it. The amount of things that this can do is amazing, and you're getting a 5-pack for all the different uses you want to use this. So $14.95. Chad Allen, I feel like I'm gonna like wind you up and let you go because this thing really is whatever you need it to be.
Anything, and that makes my job pretty difficult because this little tube, we get 5 of these tubes, is gonna last you a really long time because for all intensive purposes, once you mold it and do what you want to do with it, it's basically like steel. And so you're going to take a little bit of this, you're going to cut off what you need, and then you're going to mold these 2 colors together. I did this one for about 1 minute before the show here, and it just, you can see how it sort of blends here. See that? And then as I mold it, it will become like sort of a dark gray. We're gonna show you a little video footage because after about 60 seconds to 10 minutes, it starts to cure, starts to harden. After an hour, you're gonna notice it's pretty hard. After 24 hours, good luck. It's basically like steel, which means you can paint it, you can drill it, you can sand it, you can do basically anything you want with it, whether it's you know, using spray paint or just using some sandpaper, because I'm gonna show you a lot of examples here, but a big one, as we bring people into our homes, we get nervous, wood floors, wood doors, things like that. You can, if you get a little nick or a little cut into your wood, you can do this, put a little epoxy there, you can sand it, and then you can stain it right over. It's super simple to do. But one of the things that we always do here is we will always get tools like this for the spring, right? And these break. Maybe we don't spend very much money on it. Well, I can't even get the end of this to come off because we just took the handle, put it back inside, molded it with the Bionic Putty here, and then look, even on the back we started to show you, this is just permanent marker. We did not even use paint, and it blends right in, see? So you can blend in whatever you want, and nobody will ever know that you had anything to fix. But guys, epoxy putty has been around for decades and decades. Bell and Howell did not invent it. We don't pretend to invented it. What we did is made it better. And so what we did was made it better and then bring you a value like we're doing today, because to get 5 different rolls, 5 different tubes, is more than you'll ever really need. And I mean that because it's gonna be one for the car, just in case something in the car breaks, one for the shed, one for the garage, one for grandpa. That's really how it works.
And this is how it comes to us, right? It comes to us in the little containers, all 5 of them. Is that so they don't?
Yes, it's because you wanna keep it sealed because it will start to harden. See, this one's wrapped in like a plastic.
Yes.
And so take the plastic off, and this one has the, I'm gonna pull one into the shot here. This one has the plastic off of it, and then you'll cut it, you'll knead it, you'll put the plastic back on and put it back in its holder, because don't forget, if I was to knead this whole thing together into one big ball, after 24 hours, it'd be like a stainless steel ball.
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes when we present something, I find it a little difficult because it does so many things, and you might actually not need it right this very second. But there's certain things that we present you will need it at some point in time. It's one of those that you see it, you're hearing Chad explain it, and you're like, do I need it for this or that? You will. Just get it, put it in your cart, grab it, and then when it's ready for you to use and whatever it happens to be, you're ready and set to go with it. You don't get it after there's already a hole or a chip. It will become useful at some point in time.
Yeah, as soon as that hose starts to leak, you're just gonna put a little bit around that. You're gonna shut the hose off, put a little bit around it. You can use this with or without water, of course.
Okay.
You can use this in the shower. You can use this underwater. I mean, Luca Puto, who's taken some time off like Ty, he actually used to do a water demo if we had a longer presentation and I could let the epoxy set up. You can do this underwater, fill a hole if you need to, all the things like that. This is a quick presentation, so I want to show you a few things. Because it is water resistant here, I want to point out, you go in the shower, you go to hang a bar soap holder up, or maybe it's a caddy for your shampoo, conditioners. This is on glass, on mirror here. Getting things to stick like this is difficult. If I can get the right angle, you'll see right behind, there's a piece of epoxy putty right underneath there. That's gonna be there for essentially forever, and that's what makes it so great, because once it sets up, after about 24 hours, it feels like a hard steel. Again, let me just show you. I took a little bit of this, I cut it off, and then all you need to do is knead whatever you want, and then you just stick this into a hole, stick this into a cut. You want to fix a handle, you can do that, and then it becomes a different color. After an hour, after about 60 minutes, it's gonna be hard. After 24 hours, you can then stainless steel, it's like a steel. You can do a lot of different things.
Can you hand me really quick the canister of the things? I was like, I don't know what to call this. But if you're still having like I want to grasp what this is.
Yes.
This is what you're replacing.
Thank you.
So if you're like, wait, it does this and this, yes, because this is what you probably have somewhere in your house.
For sealing the water out, right? For the super glue. This is like a resin epoxy. This is all gross and sticky, and it costs
here's regular
money.
Putty.
And this stuff doesn't set up like epoxy putty will do.
I don't know what this is.
This all costs money and duct tape, and this is how we fix it. You're right, Tina, because all this stuff not only costs you money, it runs out and it doesn't last very long.
Right.
Epoxy putty, since it's been a proven solution for decades, literally decades, that's why people have always gravitated towards it, because it lasts so long and it's a permanent.
Right.
After 24 hours, I don't want to fool anybody, it's a permanent fixture after that, so be careful.
So if you see that maybe your husband or your dad or your uncle or your son or your nephew or somebody has a big drawer of those, get it. If you're thinking, will they, do they, will they? Yes. If you've seen any of those items in their toolbox, in the garage, in the junk drawer, whatever it is, get this, because this is such a good way to have one thing that does everything, and it's more permanent than other things. You're not having to like purchase it over and over again. And just, if we just adhered two things together, right? I feel like that would be worth the $14.95.
Bonding is the most famous reason for it.
Yes.
Bonding two things together will be the most famous things. But as we run out of time here, quickly, I can bring this into the shot over here. Just want to show you this. Can we show these two handles? The gold one, the gold one right here, is what the handle used to be like. That's how it comes at drawer. Take a look at right here. We made a handle with this one. If I tilt it up, you can actually see it's made out of straight Bionic Putty. We lost the handle, it broke off. We were able to form and cut the same hand. Now that took about 30 minutes, but you know what I didn't have to do? Go find a new handle that matched perfectly. Now we left the color of it like the epoxy putty, but I could absolutely paint that gold and be good to go. Now watch as I tilt it forward. Just want you to see where it screws into the wood. Do you see that? It's all epoxy putty. It's absolutely crazy. So there's 1,000,001 reasons to use it. Epoxy putty is a famous solution that's been around for decades. It's proven it works, and after 24 hours, it's a permanent solution.
You made a handle.
Well, Lou Caputo did,
Well, yeah. Lou made it. We're just taking the credit for it. And then you just drilled the screw into it like a normal.
And then I could paint it. I could paint it, and it would be gold, and nobody would ever know. You have your favorite mug. You lose the handle on your favorite mug. All that stuff.
It really does do all the things. So 775-349. It's an easy one, especially at this price for $14.95.